Our next guest is Michelle Meyer, the Executive Director of Mutual Ground. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Ellen.
So tell us, what is Mutual Ground?
So Mutual Ground is an organization that's been around actually for 41 years now.
Oh my gosh.
And our mission is to provide information, education, and life-changing services to individuals, families that are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault in our community.
So is this a residential program, or is this an outreach program? What is your structure?
That's a good question. We actually take a three-pronged approach to ending the cycles of domestic and sexual abuse, and those begin with prevention. Then we also have intervention and ongoing services. In our prevention program, we're actually in about 80 schools providing prevention education programs for kids as little as preschool all the way up to seniors in high school. And in the little kids classes, we talk about personal body safety. We practice screaming no if somebody touches them inappropriately, and who is a trusted adult that they would talk to if they needed to. When we get into junior high and high school, we're talking about dating violence and sexting and cyberbullying, and then we have what's called private room afterwards, where if a child wants to come and talk to us about something that may be going on with them, we're there for them to talk to them in that respect. And then when we get into our intervention services, we have a 28-bed, 7-crib shelter on our property in Aurora, and that's open 24/7. We have 2 crisis hotlines. We go to court with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault and help them with protective orders and navigating the criminal justice system. And then we also do emergency crisis counseling and advocacy for those victims. Another thing that we do is we respond to area emergency rooms when victims present there. So we're at Copley, Delnor, and Mercy. 24/7 we're available, and we use volunteers to help us with that program. They go through a 60-hour training to be on call to respond to a hospital emergency room when the nurses call us and tell us that there's a victim there of domestic or sexual violence. So that kind of encompasses our intervention services. And then we have ongoing services, which are basically helping people to continue to live a happy, safe life by continuing counseling, whether that's on an individual basis or in group.
So do you use lots of volunteers, or how big is your staff?
So we have just under 50 employees at Mutual Ground. And because we run 24/7, we have 3 shifts. And then we have just under 50 volunteers as well that, like I said, have been trained 60 hours, and they're able to work directly with the clients that we serve, either on our hotlines or being on the calendar for responding to hospital emergency rooms or childcare or anything that we need them for, essentially. Now, if somebody wants to volunteer for us and they don't have the time to go through the 60-hour training, they can still volunteer for us. There's a million other things that they can do. We are on a big grounds in Aurora, and so we always need help with our grounds. We also need help with fundraising committees and just getting out in the community and spreading awareness for us.
How do people find you? How do your clients find you and the services you offer?
So we have a presence on the web. We're mutualground.org. We also have a Facebook page that people can go to. But the majority of our clients, people that come to us for services, are actually referred to us by the police departments and hospitals. Friends refer friends to us. I think the biggest thing we want to get out there to people is that we are not just a shelter. If anybody wanted to call us at any time and just ask a question, they could. Our crisis lines are open 24/7. They're not monitored or anything like that. And some people just need to call and ask to see if a situation they're in, if it's not feeling right, just to run it by to somebody to see, hey, is there some resources available to me? This doesn't feel right. And then we can get them in for counseling. And because all of our services are completely free and confidential, anybody can come and seek the help that they need at any time.
So how are you funded then?
That's a good question too. While it is free for the clients to receive help, it is not free for us to give that help.
Right.
And so unfortunately, a third of our budget comes from the state of Illinois. So that's been a bit of a problem for us lately. So we're really, really encouraging people to call their legislators and inform them that, you know, there could be possibly programs closing at some point if we don't get a budget here soon. Otherwise, we do a lot of fundraising. We have two main fundraisers each year, one during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is in October, and one during Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is in April. And so we just had that one that was called Food for Thought, and that was at the Auburn Fisherman's Inn, and it was very successful, and we had multiple restaurants coming out and providing tastings of their food. And
I missed it, darn.
Yeah, it was very fun. And then our Walk for Hope this year is going to be at Blackberry Farm.
Okay.
Out kind of the west side of Aurora. That usually brings about 300 people to that event. It's also a great place for people to come and get together, especially if they have a loved one who's dealt with domestic or sexual violence. It's a great place to come and get together with other people that are also feeling that same pain. But it's also a place for us to raise awareness and raise some much needed funding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so also recently we have moved into Batavia.
Okay.
So we have a Batavia counseling office now that is open twice a week, right over here on Wilson at the Bethany Church, the old school building. Right next to Elder Day. And we are really happy to be able to do that. Batavia area had expressed a need for that type of service, and we were able to provide that those 2 days a week. But actually, she's starting to run a waiting list now. So those services are very needed, and we hope at some point to be able to expand the amount of time we can spend out there doing counseling.
So what are the qualifications for somebody to come to you and seek assistance? Is there a geographic limit that you are bound to, or how do people?
Yes. So we cover the southern portion of Kane and all of Kendall County. So we go up to Geneva. So any Geneva residents, Batavia residents, North Aurora, and then we have like Elburn, Sugar Grove, Montgomery, and then all the rest of Kendall County we serve. So we are the sole provider of this comprehensive service of domestic violence and sexual assault services in the area.
So that's a big service area you have.
It is. So we are very busy all the time, and we actually just expanded we have an office in the Kendall County Courthouse now, where we're able to provide better services there, and we're looking to expand into Yorkville further with another counseling office, so that we can kind of hit the northern service area with Batavia office, and then Yorkville for our Kendall County outreach.
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you because of their own situation or the situation of a loved one, or if they want to volunteer for you, how do they get in contact with you?
So they can either go to our website, which again is mutualground.org, or they can call us. Our office number is 630-897-0084. And if they wanted to volunteer, they would call and they would ask for Julie Judd. She is the Volunteer Services Director, and so she coordinates all of that, and we would love to have more volunteers, because that actually is what keeps us moving forward and allows us to do a lot more work than we could if we didn't have them. So we're very blessed to have the volunteers we have, but we could always use more.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for tuning in to Batavia Spotlight. Remember, you can watch us on Comcast Channel 17, ATT Uverse Channel 99, or on our website, www.mybatv.com. I'm your host, Ellen Huxtable, and we'll see you again next time. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at 630-937-5413 or email us at info@mybatv.com. And have a wonderful day.